Hi guys, I'm Laura Vitale. On this episode of Laura in the Kitchen, I want to share with you a simple, easy, delicious pasta dish that I know you're going to love. I shared a reels of this months ago on my Instagram, and I still get so many of you asking for a video, like an actual Laura in the Kitchen video on it, and I don't know why, because it's really simple, but I am here to deliver when you ask for something. This recipe is a recipe that's a very almost identical version is in my book, but if you don't have my book, which you should if you don't, I'm going to share with you how to make it today. It's slightly different, but not really. I'm going to share it with you as I go. Very simple, very easy. I've got a pot with boiling salted water in the back. The rest of the ingredients, which it should probably tell you what it consists of, right? It's shells, which you can use any kind of pasta that you want, with prosciutto and peas and a creamy gorgonzola delightful sauce that it is so delicious, but it comes together in like 10 minutes. And we love that. So let me show you what I'm working with. I've got frozen peas, still frozen. I've got, these are my shells. You can use any shortcut pasta you like. I really love something like this where the cream sauce can kind of like nestle right in there. A couple cloves of garlic. I got prosciutto. I've got butter. I've got some cream. I've got salt. I've got pepper. I've got lots of Parmigiano Reggiano, and I have a pinch of nutmeg. So it's going to come together really quickly. All I'm working on right now, I'm going to turn this on. This whole thing comes together in the amount of time the pasta takes to cook. But all I'm going to do it right now really quickly before I add the pasta to the boiling water is take my prosciutto. You can also do this with ham. Can I just tell you? It is delicious. But prosciutto is just a little bit saltier. It's just a different note, and I really like it. I tend to have prosciutto on hand more than I have ham on hand, like traditional American ham. So I go ahead and use this. I even posted it on TikTok, which I hardly ever post on TikTok, and I still get DMs from you guys asking for the actual recipe. So that tells me you're into the simple, easy, delicious recipes that I feel like I'm kind of known for. I'm just going to roughly chop my prosciutto. I'm using about 4 ounces, and I'm waiting for my butter to melt. And while that melts, I'm going to go ahead and add the pasta to my salted boiling water, because as I mentioned, this whole thing, the sauce cooks in the exact amount of time that the pasta takes to cook. So it literally comes together in like 15 minutes, and we love that. So I'm going to go ahead, put this in my water, and then we'll proceed. Add that right in there. I love adding butter to this because it kind of just adds another note of richness, and I really like that. But you can also do this with olive oil if you wanted to, and it would be just as delicious. While that does its thing, I just wanted to sort of cook down a little bit. I'm going to crush a couple of cloves of garlic. And you can really add them right in because we're not looking for the prosciutto to get crispy or anything. I just wanted to cook down. Moving my skillet a little bit more centered. I cannot wait to share you guys what this kitchen's going to look like soon. I hope that you're excited. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you should, because I tell you lots of things on Instagram. And if you haven't heard the news, this kitchen's getting a huge makeover. You should be seeing it in a few weeks. We're very excited about it. I feel extremely thankful to all of you for watching all of these years, supporting all of these years, and now we are at a time where it's time to upgrade, you know? And that is so exciting. So I want to thank you for that and being on this journey with me, because things are about to get even better. You know what I mean? Okay, all I'm doing for the next like minute or so is just letting this render a little bit, and I'm kind of trying to break up the prosciutto part just a touch as I do this. It really smells great. So once it's where I want it, then we move on to the next step. This is just about perfect. I'm loving what this is looking like. I'm loving what it's smelling like. I can smell the garlic. It's not too strong. I'm gonna go ahead and add the heavy cream. It's very rich, but it's not something that we eat every night. But sometimes the heart wants what it wants. I'm gonna add a pinch of nutmeg. I always like adding a pinch of nutmeg. Anytime I use cream, like a cream sauce or anything like that, it kind of makes the whole thing shine. Lower the heat just a tiny touch. Black pepper and cream. Again, another match made in food heaven. And all I'm going to do now is let this sort of gently cook while the pasta finishes cooking. When the pasta has like 1 minute left on the timer, I'm gonna go ahead and add my frozen peas directly to the boiling water and let it bubble together for the last minute or so. It'll be just enough time to thaw the peas, but not so much that they lose all of their beautiful color and texture. So a minute is gonna be perfect. Then I'm gonna drain it. I'll reserve a little water if I need it, and then I'm gonna meet you back here to pull the whole thing together. Get yourself a good amount of parm ready and some gorgonzola if you would like, which I would. And then we finish it off. That looks great. It's thickened up a bit. Love it. Adding my drained pasta and peas. Just gonna crank that up a tiny tad bit. I'm gonna go ahead and add just a smidgen of reserved cooking water. The starchiness in the water kind of helps everything adhere to the pasta, so we always love that. And now I'm just gonna let everything kind of cook together for, I would say, a minute or so. A bit more black pepper. I don't need to add any more salt because we had salt in the water, we have salt in the prosciutto, and we're gonna add another couple layers of salt with some parmigiano. And I'm adding some sharp gorgonzola, which is like an Italian blue cheese. You don't have to. But the tanginess of the gorgonzola with the sweet peas, with the salty prosciutto, with the luscious, like that luxurious creaminess of the sauce is a match made in food heaven. So I'm gonna go ahead and add some. I went ahead and just crumbled it up with a teeny tiny little paring knife. But like I said, you don't have to. You don't have to. If you're saying, you know what, Laura? Blue cheese, gorgonzola, goat cheese, those are really not for me. I say, you do you, boo, and you don't have to make it. You don't have to add it. You can add a little bit of matzah if you wanted to. It'll give you a different texture. Obviously, it'll give you that cheesy pull. But who am I to say what you can do in your own kitchen? Who's anyone to say what you can do in your own kitchen? This is just going to need like another minute or so. You can see it's really gorgeous and thickening up beautifully, and then it's ready to serve. That is done. I mean, it looks beautiful. Look how thick it got. That blue cheese melted. I'm gonna go ahead and just retrieve the pieces of garlic. Oh, that looks good and smells even better. If you want to add a little something green, you could add, I'm just gonna take a little sneaky peek. You could add some, mouth is watering, some parsley or something like that, but I'm not going to. I think this is perfect as is. Need a pea, pasta, and prosciutto. Come on. How is it so difficult to grab a little shell on my fork? Here we go. Oh yeah. Look. Hot. Look, really hot. But there's a reason so many of you wanted to see this video, because you just knew it was going to be dynamite and delicious, and you have to make this. I mean, look at that. That is like the most delicious thing you can make with a box of shells in 15 minutes. Am I right or am I right? That is gorgeous. Go to laurainthekitchen.com for the written recipe. I hope that you've enjoyed spending time with me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.